Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on the Flash Season 4, Arrow Season 6, and basically all the CW DC shows. And wow, what a day yesterday was for DC Comics in general. We obviously had the new Justice League image drop, which was pretty sick. And then we had all this new information come from the TCAs, which is the television critics thing, when the executive producers of the shows drop in and drop news and things to look forward to with their shows in the near future, whether it be to the next seasons or the current seasons, the back half after the mid-season premieres. So obviously Greg Berlanti and his band of merry executive producers were in attendance and dropped some pretty cool stuff, which we will go over. The first thing to bring up is that all 4 of the CW/DC shows got renewed for next season, which is of course spectacular news. So we are going to be getting Supergirl Season 3, The Flash Season 4, Arrow Season 6, and Legends of Tomorrow Season 3. So let's go over each individual show and go through what was revealed for them each respectively. We will go in the order of Supergirl, then The Flash, then Arrow, and finally Legends of Tomorrow. But if you are very excited for this news, make sure to leave a like on the video, it'd be very much appreciated. Firstly, with Supergirl, now moving to the CW Save Supergirl. And with the show going as strong as it is currently, this is one of the comeback stories of the year in regards to a television show. One of the big things still to come this year with Supergirl is their involvement in the musical crossover with The Flash, which is looking pretty promising, I'm not gonna lie. I did have my hesitations at first, but there's, the closer it gets to it actually happening, the more I'm looking forward to it. Now, they did confirm that the villain would be the Music Meister, which was basically the only logical choice, but it will make a much more in-depth video on that crossover in the next couple of days, so keep your eyes out for that one. This early renewal for next season will give the people behind Supergirl to just plan early for what is to come next season and possibly begin fixing some things up in the latter half of this season, such as a proper replacement for the Cat Grant character, figuring out what to do with Jimmy Olsen, as well as working out smart ways to bring Superman back, maybe for an episode or 2 later in the season or early on next season. Next up is The Flash, coming back at us with a 4th season of Barry and his bad decisions. I kid. But anyway, with The Flash, they did talk about the latter half of this season with Barry attempting to change the future and how he would go about doing that. They also talked a bit about the 2-part Gorilla Grodd / Gorilla City story, which would take place over episodes 13 and 14 of this season. And just to give you some reference, I think they're actually about to finish filming episode 14, or they may have finished it a couple of days ago, so they might be moving into episode 15 now. While on the topic of the Gorilla City story, they also revealed that Savitar will also be involved and will be voiced by Keith David, who you may know or remember as the dad from There's Something About Mary. If you've ever watched that movie, it's quite the funny movie. But anyway, Savitar will most likely be the leader of Gorilla City unless Grodd has somehow taken over that mantle ever since he, got put there. But we will have to wait and see about that. Black Flash was brought up, and Andrew Kreisberg, an executive producer on The Flash, did say this. I will say that you might be seeing him on multiple shows. He then followed up by saying the following as well. He's a classic character. We have storylines on multiple shows that fit having him around. There's something so scary about him, something even scarier than when he was just the man. Because now he is the Grim Reaper, he is the devil. How do you stop the devil? So it presents an interesting challenge for the heroes of the respective shows in which he appears. So what shows could Black Flash appear in? Well, obviously The Flash, and the other obvious choice would be Legends, possibly, especially if they put a Jesse Quick on that show next season, or even a Wally West, or even just the fact that the Reverse Flash is there for now. However, this quote could be a bit deceiving, as you could also have the possibility of him showing up in an animated CW Seed show as well, such as Vixen, or the newly announced Constantine animated series. And just a note with Constantine, because he's now an animated series on the CW Seed, they can bring him into crossovers and explain it easily, if you want to call it that. But don't expect him to be there. It's just a higher possibility that he might show up now. Now, they didn't really speak much about next season, but like with Supergirl, this early renewal will allow them to set up next season in a pretty organised, yet surprising manner as we are used to on The Flash. Up next is Arrow with Season 6 coming up. Obviously the big thing for the latter half of this season of Arrow is the mystery of Prometheus, as well as wrapping up the last year of the Flashbacks, but what should we expect in Season 6? This is what executive producer Mark Guggenheim said recently. Last year, when we sort of realised we were going to go past Season 5, we basically made a collective decision that Season 5 would be the final year of flashbacks. Next year in Season 6, what we'll end up doing is we'll do some episodes without flashbacks. We've established over the first 4 seasons of proof of concept that we can do flashback stories that don't involve what I call the island narrative, even when he's not on the island. We still want to make that part of our storytelling because we do like them. We like when those non-island flashbacks sort of illuminate what's going on in the present day. That'll always be a part of the show and a part of the show's storytelling structure. It just won't be telling a serialized story. So what does Guggenheim mean by all of this? So in Season 6, no more island flashbacks. The Season 5 finale will be like that opening shot in Episode 1 of Season 1 when Ollie is rescued by those fishermen. What we will get is flashbacks to like events from Season 1 onwards, or possibly even before Ollie got stranded on the island like we saw in Season 1. But as it is stated, it just won't be every episode. Maybe one episode every 3, 4, maybe even 5 episodes will include a flashback or flashbacks. We saw in the mid-season finale of Arrow Season 5 how they can use Season 1 flashbacks in a pretty cool way to tell stories. Obviously it's a bit different because they're trying to connect, Prometheus to the past and stuff like that. But you can use that as sort of like an example. And finally we have Legends of Tomorrow, which is going to be a bit of a shorter talk than the rest of them. Now, Legends of Tomorrow was the only one I was worried might not get renewed, just because it changed days and times and stuff like that, and that's usually not, like, as I said before in previous videos, it's not like not the strongest show of faith from a network if they do that to a TV show, but obviously they have enough faith to keep it on for another season. Obviously, I am expecting a team shuffle up going from Season 2 to Season 3, like we saw from Season 1 to Season 2, and I am expecting less members, so they will shuffle up some of the members, but I think they might also get rid of 2. So what I could see them doing is maybe getting rid of Vixen and replacing her with another character, and possibly Heatwave depending on what happens with Captain Cold throughout this season. So they would replace Vixen and Heatwave, but I could also see Firestorm possibly getting kicked off the show and, just returning to Flash, or just doing what he was doing when he left Flash before he got picked up by Legends. And this is just because Firestorm, if you think about it, isn't used that much and he is pretty expensive to do. And if you think about it, you're kicking off one character, but really you're kicking off 2 because it's, Firestorm is made up by 2 people. You have Jax and then you have Professor Stein. So they could kick off Firestorm. I think I've talked about this before because he isn't used that well and he is expensive to do. But we'll have to wait and see. They might just keep it the same, but I'm expecting a bit of a shuffle up with Legends just because it costs so much to make and it isn't the highest rating show. So they might want to, trim some of the cost of making that show. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, it'd be very much appreciated. If you could leave a like on it, let me know in the comment section below on your opinions on all of this. Which one are you looking forward to most coming back? Obviously, I'm looking forward to all of them. Do you think they'll cut off like Firestorm or something from Legends? And what do you think about the Arrow Season 6 flashbacks? Do you think they'll be like the Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 times? Or even before Ollie went on the island and stuff like that? Just leave all those opinions in the comment section below. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.